Oh hey there, this is Tanya from Techretaries, and welcome to my tutorial on Gmail, filters and labels. So this is just a quick tutorial on setting up filters that funnel to labels that help you organize your inbox. So what you see here is I have my inbox organized by primary, social, promotions, updates, and forums. Those are categories, and we can certainly get into those later. But those do a really good job of filtering emails as they come in so that in primary we have only the important people. In social we have social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. Promotions are mostly sales. Updates can be a variety of things. And then forums, which are community based messaging boards. So that does a good job, but I want to take it a step further. So I want to just touch quickly on creating labels and filters. So let's say I want this Washington State email to go to not only the label that I've already created here, but another label as well. What I'd do is I'd select the message, and there's a couple different ways to do that, and I'll show you how to do that. But I'd first select the message and then click on the three dots. Now the three dots is going to be our saving grace for just about everything. It's Gmail's way of communicating. There's more here. There's a more menu. And you'll notice the three dots and the use of dots all throughout their design. So look for the three dots when you can't find anything else. So click the three dots and say filter messages like these. And what I like about that is it runs a search based on the email address. It's really handy when you know that for the most part the emails are all coming from the same address. And there are handy things that we can do where if we, for example, know that all of the emails come from this domain, so everything after the @ symbol, we could say asterisk, which is a wildcard symbol for anything from this domain, and run a search, and oh, look at that, we've got a ton more emails. So then, after I'm happy with my search and I've got all the emails that pretty much cover what I'm looking to filter, I click the arrow again and say create filter. Now I've got all these choices, and it goes from a variety of things like skipping the inbox. Let's say I never really want to see this message and I just want it to go to the label, and then I'll check the label at the end of tax season, let's say. I could say skip the inbox and archive it. I could also mark it as read. I could star it if that's something you use, but the main thing that we're going to be using is apply the label. And then I want to create a new label, and I'm just going to call it Washington State. And you know what? I want to nest this label under another label that I have. Come down here, you can see I really like labels. I'm going to go to taxes and LLC. So now what that's going to do is it's going to make a sub-label under here. Create. And then of course I have a variety of other choices here, but the main one I like is also apply label, apply filter to 25 matching searches. So conversations. So all those messages that are there, it's going to apply the label. That's going to be really handy. So then past messages get labeled and future messages get labeled with this filter. So then click create filter and then give it a minute. It'll take a second or two for the label to be applied. And sometimes you may even find, for example, if I click on a message and then come back to this list, there, it refreshed and there's my label. Now, I typically just use gray labels because I'm boring like that, but if you want to go into color coding, which I highly recommend, you can come down to the label, taxes, and click on, yet again, the three dots, label color. Beautiful. Adding a nice pop of color can help you identify messages in a large list quickly and easily. So I would recommend using color sparingly and use it for things that you definitely want to see from time to time as it comes in. And then you can always remove it as it becomes secondary and not really something you need to take notice of. So that can be adaptable. So now you've seen filters and you've seen creating labels whilst making a filter. Let's go over just creating a label. So the thing that I'm not too thrilled about that Gmail does is they hide a lot of stuff. So I have a pretty extensive label list. So I'm going to close some of these things up. So what you probably have is a smaller label list and then a more down here. By clicking the more, you get everything that's down below. Now I've pushed a few things down below here, but what we want to focus on is create new label. So that's where you can create your new label. I highly recommend this if you're not going to do any filter and you just want to drag emails over, and you can do that. You can drag emails over to a label. You can select multiple messages. Holding down Shift is sort of a power user thing where you can select multiple messages by just selecting the bottom message. So everything in between there got selected. And then you can also just click label up here. Let's say find the label that you want. We'll just pretend it's this one. Check it off and then apply. So that's really handy for quickly organizing things. My general rule is if it doesn't have a label, if it doesn't have a place, is it getting deleted or is it getting addressed later? But I generally like to label things as they come in. So I'll select the message, give it a label, or give it a filter with the 3 dots, just so that I'm staying organized. I find it's really easy to do it as it comes in. I'll also let it sit in my inbox without a label so that I know it needs a label at some point when I'm ready to organize. So that's a quick tutorial on labels and filters. Stay tuned for more, and please reach out to Tanya at Techretaries.com if you have any feedback or have any more questions. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.